I will succeed. You will see. Mauricio Pochettino tells his pre-match press conference. So confident he is. He's talking about the feel-good factor, the Christmas lunch that the Chelsea staff and I think players and families had. He really is talking positively. He referenced the fact how Reece James took all the players out for a meal and then some went off to a club after the Everton loss, and how he thinks that's an important thing for these players to bond. But the most salient delivery in this pre-match press conference before Chelsea face Sheffield was just his absolute certainty of how he will succeed and this Chelsea project will succeed. Now, sure, can-do attitude and a positive way of thinking is the way to go, and I guess many of you would expect this, but you don't always get this. You wouldn't have got it from Graham Potter. You would have got something like, we're going to try our darndest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Ooh, yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff today. I'm going to show you a lineup that I've built. Stuff on Thiago Silva. Kendry Paez is coming to train. Kendry Paez, the midfielder's coming to town. For it is the time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Consider supporting the content simply by liking, subscribing, sharing. But if you do subscribe, turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a beat when I upload. Chelsea have loads of injuries, of course. Adding to the long list, Reece James, we know he'll be out for a long time. Marc Cucurella, he's undergoing an assessment and is due to meet with a foot and ankle specialist to decide the next steps. So he's out. And our greatest, well, not our greatest fears, but one of our big fears, our first team goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, is unavailable. Could be for weeks. What does that mean for Georgia Petrovic? Could he present himself as the man? This, very affordable goalkeeper we got from the MLS, is he going to prove to be good? Other than that, the Chelsea website lists Chalobah, Chilwell, Chukwuemeka, Fofana, Ugachukwu, Madueke, Lavia, all unavailable. Gusto and Nkunku have returned to team training. Which leads me to the next part of this video. Nkunku should feature this weekend, tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. Not start, but finally play in this squad. Pochettino is, for me, the way I perceive this presser, it pretty much said, he will play, which is great news for us. It is good news for us. In fact, he said on a few occasions, this is very good news. This is very good news. He really wanted to hammer that home, because he's this is a really important player for us. I was listening to CFC Central on the London is Blue podcast say he likes the way he's handled Nkunku. And to be honest, I know we've all been gagging to see him, and the player himself was ready to play Man City months ago in his mind. But we look at this injury list I just read out to you. Do you want Nkunku to slam dunk himself back onto that list because he's been reintroduced too early? Or do you want Pochettino and co to make sure he is 1,000% ready for this Chelsea team? You want the latter! Okay? I don't think Romeo Lavia is ready, but Nkunku. And let's be honest. In theory, I know Sheffield are going to play a big bunch of strong centre-backs and try and rough us up. But in theory, I think they're 20th place. 20th place Sheffield United at home at Stamford Bridge on a 3 p.m. kickoff is just the tonic for a reintroduction, or should I say an introduction of a key player returning from injury to make his introduction into the side. It is just the tonic in theory. Touch wood, cross fingers, and all that other superstitious stuff. I'll show you a lineup in a bit, and who knows, we could on the app we can move around Nkunku. That would be fun. Before we do that, Thiago Silva is unlikely to be retained by the club, confirms David Ornstein. I don't know why this is so much of a talking point, but it's gone around social media and Chelsea news aggregators. A little bit of news. David Ornstein, of course, the head honcho at The Athletic, confirming. He's playing quite well. He's getting lauded rightly by football analysts and pundits. He's 39 years old. He's the oldest defender to ever play in the Premier League. Is it a shock that we're not going to give him a new contract? It ruddy well shouldn't be. I know, like, he's one of a kind. He's the exception to the rule. His recovery is amazing. These little moments, though. Look, I am 5 years younger than him. I couldn't do any of the stuff that he could do. So, yeah, absolutely incredible. I hope he stays around at Chelsea, learns, English leisurely if he stops training so hard. Both his boys play for Chelsea, I think, in the academy. I'd love for them to come through. Imagine if Thiago or Thiago Silva, his boys, become like wicked Chelsea players. Oh, my heart beats for that kind of gear, mate. That is absolutely an incredible story and scene. And we know Bell Silva, Thiago Silva, they love Chelsea. So, we've got loads of young centre-backs. We're apparently going to buy another one. Thiago Silva is incredible, but the fact how he's not been given the captaincy, the fact how he doesn't speak that good English, I'd love him to stay as a role at Chelsea, but he'd really have to put the academic work in. I've spoken already about how this guy, he speaks Italian, he speaks Portuguese, he speaks French, all fluently. He seemed like he couldn't be asked to learn, but he'd learn the mandatory English for playing football and commanding and stuff, but in terms of integrating into culture, he didn't learn English. So if he's to stay in the role at Chelsea, he'd obviously have to learn English. But anyway, look, we all love Thiago Silva, and none of us should be surprised we're not giving a guy into his 40s a contract extension. Fine. So, are we all terrified that Chelsea will embarrass themselves at home while Kendry Paez is in attendance at Stamford Bridge? I know I am. I think, though, he signed on the dotted line, so he can't run away. He can't run away, right? Matt Law of The Telegraph writes, wonder kid Kendry Paez will not only... He'll get ready for this. He will train with Chelsea's first team squad next week in the first of a series of settling in visits to England planned by the Premier League club. Of course, we signed Paez for 17 million from Independiente de Valle, with the agreement the youngster will join on his 18th birthday, so no more of this transfer ban signing the kids. This is really sensible. Great plan. Look, he is an absolute wonder kid. Chelsea look at him thinking he really could do bits even at 18 because of his breaking records when he was even as young as 15 for the Ecuadorian first team. By the time he's 18, he's going to be super settled, right? So if Chelsea feel like he can do bits even that young, then yeah, have him like knowing Cobham, knowing the team, knowing the staff, knowing hopefully the manager. If Pochettino's knocking about, the way Poch, like I said earlier, is talking about Chelsea, he says, yeah, we'll succeed. It's going to be fine. So he should be here when Paez turns 18 if it goes his way. So, of course, until he turns 18, Paez will visit England 2 or 3 times to start his integration process designed at making the midfielder's full-time move as smooth as possible. This is really sensible stuff. I know this is a bit boring, but it's like, yeah, this kid's from South America. This will be his first time in England. We want him to turn up when he signs. Like, yep. I know the building, I know the people, I'm excited, I've been talking on social media to my teammates for 18 months, I've popped down to see them, I've gone for food with them probably, and I'm just good to go, and I can express myself. I've continued to play well in the Ecuadorian league, and continued to play well for my country, and my profile's raising, and people know as the months click down, he's a Chelsea player, he's coming to Chelsea. So Independiente have given the green light for Paez to spend time at Chelsea next week. He will also train with the first team, meet head coach Mauricio Pochettino and the squad, and talk to other staff members. This is great. It's emerged that Paez he's already started learning English in preparation for his move, and will speak to Chelsea's coaching team about developing an off-field training program to take back to Ecuador with him. So it's almost like we've signed him. We've signed him when he was 15 or just turned 16, and it's like, right, this is how you train, this is what you're going to do, you're going to come to Chelsea and you're going to tear it up and you're going to save us. Oh, won't somebody please save us? Paez is rated as one of the most exciting young talents in world football, and in October, age 16 and 161 days, of course, he became the youngest ever South American to score in a World Cup qualifier in their 2-1 win. So yeah, winner, really, a winning goal, a really important goal. Well, there are no doubts inside Chelsea over Paez' talent, there is recognition that moving from Ecuador to England as a teenager will represent challenges, which is why they've come up with these innovative ways of trying to help his integration. Well, of course, Moises Caicedo would have done the exact same thing. He would have been a late teenager coming to Brighton, I believe. And of course, having Caicedo is really, really helpful. And other South Americans and Spanish speakers, very helpful indeed. While there is no, I've read this part, Paez dubbed the new Jewel of Ecuador. Wow, we've got the Jewel of Ecuador. He's already the youngest appearance maker and goal scorer for his country's top flight, scoring on his debut aged just 15. Yeah, if you don't know about Paez, this dude was breaking records, loads of records. He goes on to be to score to the final of the Under-17 Championship this year and holds the record for being the youngest ever to score at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. Yes, so he's going to be knocking about Stamford Bridge soon. Paez is set to be Stamford Bridge. Oh, for the Carabao Cup quarter-final on Tuesday night. Excuse me. So maybe not for Sheffield, although I swear Fabrizio Romano said he's going to be at Stamford Bridge this weekend. Either way, it'll be soon. So let's talk about the weekend anyway. Let me know what you think about Kendry Paez training with the first team and Chelsea's general move to integrate him. I actually think that's really smart. I know we just want to win football games and see goals and clean sheets and, you know, an actual team performance. And there's only so long we can all look at the fluffy stuff around, like, you know, transfers and footballing directors and, you know, people being hired for marketing and financial gain and the way we structure contracts and make votes at Premier League meetings to shithouse and these little fleeting dopamine hits in our head that all sound nice in theory, but we want to see a football match won. That is what football is all about. Let's take a look here. Well, before I show you my lineup, of course, Sheffield United are coming to town. They're coming with Chris Wilder. I think they will, for this game, revert to a three-back system. Whether we'll see the trendy and overlapping fullbacks again, like last time he got into the Premier League, which excited everyone. They already played. I know they lost to Liverpool, but they did play a lot better than they had been, with more time on the training pitch as well, and against, let's be real, a worse team than Liverpool in Chelsea. There's no way of getting around that at the moment. They will be tough for Chelsea because they'll do a low block and counter, and that is our kryptonite. It's not going to be easy. They do have some absentees, but still, it's gonna be a needlessly. It shouldn't be a tough game, but it will be a tough game. Anyway, this is how I think we'll line up. Now we know we have no fullbacks other than Martson and potentially Gusto, but despite that, and because of the height in the Sheffield team, I'm going with the four centre backs. Bang, 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 bang. Of course, with Rob out, we've got Petrovic starting in goal. Hopefully, he's been doing some high-intensity training with the team after that last game out against Everton, knowing that he's going to be the man in this game. Hopefully, he's been brought through it. He knows this is his chance. Apparently, he's a very confident boy, Petrovic. His camp think that he believes he could be Chelsea number one when he arrived. So this is your chance, mate. A Premier League game at home. It's against Sheffield. It's a good game to start. You're going to be beaten up in the box when they have corners, but here's your chance, dude. So I do think we will see Colwill Badiashile, left footer, Silva on the right, Disasi playing right back. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if we are losing, which God forbid, we can go more offensive and bring on, if available, Gusto at right back. He might be available. And of course, at left back, we could also bring on Matson, which we saw him actually play minutes as a left back in the last game for the first time competitively this season. Now, the midfield, Pochettino is so keen on getting like this sort of chemistry, long-term chemistry right. So I do think we'll see the Caicedo, Fernandes and Gallagher trio. Once again, Caicedo sitting, Fernandes playing as a left 8, Gallagher playing as a right 8, sometimes going into the number 10 pocket, but doing a lot of running and pressing and hopefully not fouling. And of course, the front three. I've gone for Sterling, Jackson and Palmer. Palmer being the most effective player of late, even if he had a bit of a poor outing last time. He's a lot better on the right than he is in a number 10, even though I think when he signed for Chelsea, he thought he'd be probably doing a lot of number 10 work. But now he's been playing and seen how he's performing in the right wing, I don't think he'll have much of a problem playing here. Everyone wanted Breuer. Breuer played last time out. He didn't look good, bless him. Jackson came on and looked a little bit better. But, yeah. To be honest, if this was a big opponent, inverted commas, playing with like a lot of possession, I would do the 4-4-2 with Palmer and Gallagher up front, with Mudryk and Sterling in the bank of 4 behind. Like we played so well against Arsenal like that with our striker, and of course we let that slip and gave them 2 goals back. Well, a goal back, which gave them the impetus for a winner. But we were so good in that game. This isn't that kind of game, so 3 attackers make sense, and an actual striker. Now, yeah, because we're going to have the ball, and if we're going to have the ball, we're going to have someone that needs to be able to link up in the box. Jackson is better than that than Breuer at the moment. Breuer will look to just run and finish. Jackson will look to like drop deep and link up. He needs a good game, but we could also see a false 9 system, of course. Mudryk will feature one way or another. You can bet your bottom dollar, not with Martin behind him unless we're chasing a goal. I think if we've still got the 4 centre-backs at the back still, that's when Mudryk will play, because, you know, Pochettino trusts playing Mudryk in front of a centre-back, full-back, rather than, you know, a Cucurella, a Chilwell, a Martin, certainly a Martin. And hopefully, so we could see a false 9 system like this. And hopefully, we see our boy. Now, Nkunku could come on as a striker. If we need a goal, he'll come in the middle and he'll be told to just like operate here and try and run and score. If we are winning, and of course, remember, these are Sheffield United centre-backs. So they're big, strong boys, and you don't want to, Nkunku isn't big. And if he's coming in after an injury, you don't want him to get broken. So if we're not chasing a goal, if we're just giving him the minutes, because this is, say we're winning 2-0 or something, please say we're winning, then you'd bring him on the left, and then, just towards the end of the game, you might see something like, I think because Breuer's not injured, you'd probably see him feature. You might see like a finishing front three. Like this, who knows, even Madueke's been on the bench, isn't he? Well, to be honest, we could even see Martin play up front there. So that could be like a finishing front three, like, giving Breuer a chance after Jackson's done his chance. Or if Jackson's been poor, he will absolutely still be liable to get hooked for Breuer. And then maybe Nkunku on the left and someone else on the right. So that's how I see it. What do you think of my lineup? It's I think that all those players will feature. Lavia is not ready, and I'm gonna do a score prediction. I am terrified of this game. No matter what happens, if we don't lose, you'll sort of take it. Okay, so no, if we don't lose and you see Nkunku on the pitch, you'll take it. But if we just about scrape a 1-0 or a 2-1 and Nkunku doesn't come on or something, people won't be happy. It's just the way it is. But we need to respect Sheffield, especially Chris Wilder Sheffield. Now he's had more time to drill them. Super exciting. There's so much stuff that can make you feel better that we're close to. Well, I know we've had the injuries, but Lavia having a good performance, and Nkunku scoring a goal and pulling out that blue balloon. I don't know if he'll have it in it, even if he scores on his debut. I'm not sure he'll have that balloon in his pocket just yet. I don't think Chelsea are stable enough to be like, balloon celebration! But these little things that can make you feel better, oh yeah. And to be honest, I need to see wins and goals, but it is seeing Pochettino talk like he did today in the press conference, it's gonna be fine, don't worry about it. It is someone being so confident like that does make you think, oh, okay, good. I got to trust him, right? He's the Chelsea manager. Anyway, I'll be very interested in learning your thoughts, feelings, and opinions down in the comment section, so please do leave them. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And I hope to see you back here very soon. Of course, I will upload about half an hour after full time on the weekend. All right, peace.